Alright, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TEW Local to Global 1987. We're back with some GCW, and let's get straight into our first show of today's episode, Saturday Night's Wrestling. And I did a little bit of calculations, and I realized that episode 100 will also be Revolution 1994, so I just thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, let's get into the show. So as always, I've already got the storylines all planned out. I actually have, I think I mentioned this already, I have the storylines planned out until early February of 95. So let's get straight into it. So this week we're going to have, let's see what we had last time. We had Pillman cut a promo from his home, wishing that Austin and him would get back together as a tag team. So today we're going to do Steve Austin promo. Austin's going to open the show with a promo. Alright. That's going to be that. We're going to get an angle with Sting. He's going to acknowledge Austin's challenge for the world titles, considering last episode in the first week of October, Austin said that he had his eye on the championship. So Sting is just going to acknowledge that. We're also going to have Shane Douglas cut a promo. And Jesse James will be involved in this segment, because Shane Douglas welcomes a new member into franchise, which is, of course, Jesse James. We're going to get Eddie Guerrero in a backstage segment with Mondo. We're going to say Eddie is mad at Mondo for challenging Chavo and Big John without his approval, I'll say. Okay, that can go there. And that's about it. So now let's book some matches. Our main event tonight, I want Dustin Rhodes, because Dustin needs to start getting a little bit more momentum ahead of his championship match against Sting at Halloween Hell this next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday. So we're gonna say he's gonna take on, who can he take on? Rob Van Dam, with Dustin getting the victory. We're going to get a tag team match on this card, because we're going to take out the Men on a Mission tag team. We're going to have them take a loss to Fire and Ice, considering they are leaving, and we want to get some new teams over. We're going to get a singles match. Let's do Jerry Lynn. Okay, Jerry Lynn. Who can Jerry Lynn face off against? Did I miss a storyline? Hold on. Give me a second. No, okay. We're good. We're good. Jerry Lynn will be facing off against, let's do Steve Wright. And after the Jerry Lynn-Steve Wright match, we're going to have the return of Jesse the Body Ventura. Ventura returns and gives Jerry Lynn an icy title shot at Halloween Hell. That can go right there. We're going to do a match between the Sting and Eddie backstage promos. So we're going to do Marcus Bagwell versus Rey Mysterio, with Rey getting the victory. And of course, one last match. We got to get Disco Inferno on the card. He's going to be taking on Perry Saturn of the Eliminators, with Perry Saturn getting the victory. Let's run it. So, opening us up, we've got Steve Austin coming out to the ring. He says that he understands that Pillman's opinion on Austin. He understands that Pillman felt sorry for Austin. Well, guess what? Austin is done with Brian Pillman. He wants no part of the Hollywood Blondes anymore. This team is over. Pillman needs to move on. That's it. So Austin looks like he misunderstood Pillman's message. He thought that Pillman felt sorry for him, but in reality, Pillman was apologetic of his betrayal. But whatever. Austin just not a big fan of Pillman overall now, I guess. We're going to have to see where that goes. Jerry Lynn gets a victory over Steve Wright. Afterwards, Jesse the Body Ventura returns from his injury, and considering Jerry Lynn helped him tremendously with Taz, he gives him an Intercontinental Championship opportunity against Kensuke Sasaki at Halloween Hell. 100. Men on a Mission fall to Fire and Ice. Not much to say. Eddie Guerrero is backstage with Mando Guerrero, and he is angry that Mando challenged Chavo and Big John to a tag team match at Halloween Hell without Eddie's approval, without asking Eddie first. Mando just doesn't say anything, just, you know. And of course, next week, we get to see Eddie Guerrero face off against Chavo Guerrero for the Cruiserweight Championship. I know it's a little last minute, but we do have a Cruiserweight Championship match next week. Eddie versus Chavo. 33. Ray defeats Marcus Bagwell. Again, not much to say. Sting is backstage. He gives his opinion on Steve Austin. You know, what's going on with the Pillman situation. Just Austin challenging him. Sting says if Austin wants a challenge, he's willing to give him a shot. He has no problem with it at all. Sting is the man in GCW after all. 92. Perry Saturn defeats Disco Inferno in 442 by pinfall with an elbow drop. 59. Shane Douglas. Because of the recent infighting in franchise, Shane Douglas welcomes Jesse James into franchise. We need a new member, so here is Jesse James. And in the main event, Dustin Rhodes gets a victory over RVD with a 79 to end our show, improving our popularity in 7 regions. Bobby Heenan re-signing. I wish I could sign Bobby Heenan. Nah, we're too small for him. I will add him to... Oh, he's already on my short list. Okay. Mike Graham. Out of WCW. Mike Graham actually is a decent wrestler. So, pretty decent wrestler from the AWA days. Nice. Alright. So that's going to do it for the first show of today's episode. We're going to sim up to Saturday Night's Wrestling number 2 right now. Alright, let's go straight into Saturday Night's Wrestling. Backstage incidents. Okay. I'm going to find him. He's already leaving anyway. Why not? Right. Alright, let's go to the Mid-South. And, ladies and gentlemen, in the Mid-South, our importance has gone up to 46. We are 1 importance point away from being cult-sized. Almost there. We're almost there. We should hit it either by the end of this episode or we're going to hit it next episode. So, we're going to start off with a promo by Brian Pillman. Pillman promo. It's going to be 10 minutes. Then we're going to do in our main event a tag team contest. We're going to do Dustin Rhodes teaming up with the world champion, his opponent for this Sunday, Sting, against Shane Douglas and Chris Candido, who are also facing off this Sunday, the members of franchise. Let's see if they can work together, and they will fail because Sting will be getting the victory. Okay. And after the match, we're going to do Shane Douglas and Chris Candido. Put them both on entertainment as they will argue. Candido and Douglas argue. Candido strikes Douglas. Okay, that takes care of that. Cruiserweight Championship match, Eddie Guerrero versus Chavo. Eddie Guerrero, the current Cruiserweight Champion, will be losing to Chavo. For storyline progression, I need the championship on Chavo. Chavo gets the victory by tainted pinfall. And you know what we're going to do, actually? We're going to do botched interference on Eddie by Mondo. So Mondo will accidentally hit Eddie to cost him the championship. We're also going to do Jesse James, the new member of Franchise, facing off against Tommy Dreamer, with Jesse James getting the victory. Alright. So now we gotta find out some segments that we can do. Let's do... Who can we bring on the show? Let's do a hype package for Isaac Yankem. Isaac Yankem DDS hype video. That's to build up his debut coming soon. I think I've done that for Saturday nights, yeah. Alright, let's do another singles match. No, let's do one more segment, actually. We're going to do an episode of Disco TV with special guest, let's say... Let's do that before their match. Yeah, special guest, Disco TV with Tommy Dreamer. Jesse James interrupts. I can go right there. We're going to put you right here. And we can get one more match on the card. Let's do Alex Wright. Alex Wright will be facing off against the 1-2-3 Kid, which in reality would be an amazing match. Both these guys very talented in real life. Let's run the show. So Brian Pillman opens up the show with a promo. He apologizes to Austin for how his apology came on. He really is sorry about that. He didn't mean to make Austin feel like he felt sorry for him. He will face Harlem Heat this Sunday. So Pillman challenges Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray for the World Tag Team Championships in the name of the Hollywood Blondes. If Austin wants to come out and help, Pillman would very much appreciate that, but Pillman will face them in a handicap match for the Tag Team Championships, and when he wins the titles back, he will win them for the Hollywood Blondes and give one of the titles to Austin. So he really wants the team to get back together. 75. Alex Wright versus 1-2-3 Kid. Alex Wright wins in 10-14 by submission with an STF. There's not much to say. We got Disco TV with Tommy Dreamer and Jesse James going to come out to interrupt. This is going to lead us to the Jesse James-Tommy Dreamer match with Jesse James winning in 6:35 by pinfall with a pile driver. The Cruiserweight Championship on the line as Eddie Guerrero loses the championship to Chavo Guerrero. Mondo accidentally costing Eddie the championship. What will this play? Will this take a part in the tag team match we're going to see this Sunday? Eddie and Mondo versus Chavo and Big John. And 80. Isaac Yankem's got another hype video. In our main event, Dustin Rhodes and Sting defeat Shane Douglas and Chris Candido in 20 minutes when Sting defeated Chris Candido by pinfall. Sting 89, Dustin 81, Candido 64, and Shane Douglas with an 80. Dustin Rhodes improving technical skill in 80. And after the match, Shane Douglas and Candido are arguing in the ring, with Candido striking Shane Douglas with a punch. That's going to lead them to having a match this Sunday. Shane and Chris Candido, leader of Franchise, to be determined. Okay. Andre the Giant. Yeah, he's not going to sign with us. He's a little too popular for us. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Me and Gene's going to re-sign. Okay. Let's check that importance. Still at 47. Alright. Let's head on to Halloween Hell, the final show of today's episode. On this card, we're going to see Sting versus Dustin Rhodes, Harlem Heat versus Brian Pillman, Chavo Guerrero, and Big John versus Eddie Guerrero and Mando Guerrero. Shane Douglas versus Chris Candido, and Kensuke Sasaki versus Jerry Lynn. Let's get straight into it right now. Alright, we are here at Halloween Hell 1994. Let's get straight into the show. Starting us off, we've got J.J. Dillon coming out and opening up our show. Good start. Not much to say. We're here in front of a sellout crowd. 11,215 people are here tonight to witness history. Starting us off, we've got a fatal 4-way cruiserweight match. Alex Wright defeats Rey Mysterio, the 1-2-3 Kid, and Aldo Montoya in 15-12, when Alex defeated Aldo by submission with an STF. Rey was head and shoulders above everyone. Aldo was the weak link. Rey with an 83, 1-2-3 with a 59, Alex Wright with a 57, and Aldo Montoya with a 35, a 72. Next up, we've got DDP versus Johnny B. Bad. In a 79, DDP gets a victory over Johnny B. Bad in 15-23 by pinfall with a handful of tights. So now let's get into the storyline matches. Up next, the tag team match between Chavo Guerrero and Big John versus Mando Guerrero and Eddie Guerrero. Let's get straight into it. Decent match. Chavo and Big John defeat Eddie and Mando in 1340 when Chavo defeated Eddie by pinfall following a turn by Mando Guerrero. Mando has turned to the dark side of Chavo and Big John. Eddie Guerrero has lost another one of his family members. Mando with a 45, Eddie with a 68, Big John with 38, and Chavo as well with a 68. Mando improving Rumble skill, a 67. Jesse Ventura will join commentary for the Jerry Lynn Kensuke Sasaki match. It is up next. Jerry Lynn, Kensuke Sasaki, Intercontinental Championship on the line. Superb Wrestling Good Heat, Kensuke Sasaki defeated Jerry Lynn in 1640 when Kensuke made defense number 7 of the Intercontinental Championship. We are building to a heel turn for Kensuke Sasaki. So, yeah, Jerry Lynn seemed off his game. Still got a 79. Jerry Lynn, really good. 79. Next up, I believe, what's next? Let me check. Next up is the Shane Douglas Chris Candido match. Let's get straight into it. In 82, Shane Douglas defeats Chris Candido in 1946 by a belly-to-belly suplex. Shane with an 88, Candido with a 79 and 82. And afterwards, Chris Candido refuses to shake Douglas's hand. So still a little bit of tension in franchise, but Shane Douglas is the leader. We've determined that. Next up, we've got Brian Pillman versus Harlem Heat for the World Tag Team Championships. And E3, by the way, there is no actual way of putting the tag team titles on the line in a handicap match, so let's just pretend they were on the line. Harlem Heat defeat Brian Pillman in 1805 when Booker defeated Brian Pillman by pinfall with a Harlem Hangover. Stevie Ray was the weak link. Pillman with a 91, Stevie with an 81, and Booker with a 90. Really getting up there, Booker T. 83. And after the match, Steve Austin comes out and he helps Brian Pillman up to his feet before hitting him with the stunner and beating him down with a steel chair. Austin has finally turned to the dark side. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. Austin has finally turned to the dark side. He is now a heel, beating down Pillman. Man, what a twist. 100, our main event is up next. Sting versus Dustin Rhodes, and in an 84, Sting defeats Dustin in 24-35 by submission with a Scorpion Deathlock. Sting makes defense number 9 of the World Championship and defense number 14 of the WWA World Championship. 84 to end our show with an 85. We're going to tell Brian Pillman, good job. We're going to tell Sting, good job. And we're going to tell Booker T, good job. Booker T really getting up there now. So it is official. Austin is now a heel. He is moving into a feud with Brian Pillman. As finished first, point 28, still at 46. Alright. Made a lot of money though. So Chavo, the Cruiserweight Championship, Kensuke Sasaki still the Intercontinental Champion, Sting the World Champion, and Harlem Heat still the Tag Team Champions. And if we check, Steve Austin is officially a heel in GCW. What's gonna happen with that? We're gonna have to find out next episode. Make sure to like if you like this video, subscribe if you want more, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.